I've been thinking about what I'm going to say and how to say it, Stugotz, for, I'm not even kidding you, more than 20 years.
Okay.
What I'm about to say to the audience is more than 2 decades in the making, because I've not been brave enough until now to do it.
Still timely, huh?
I believe in the Miami Dolphins this year.
What?
Wow.
Why? Explain yourself. You've never believed in the Miami Dolphins.
Late
This is
to
the
this
first time.
party,
I mean,
too,
amazing. I believe in them every year.
How many episodes of the Tyreek Hill podcast have you listened to?
Tyreek Hill is bringing on every guy to talk about, to prop up the stardom of he's arrived to making a national team. And I don't know if they will be fun to watch, but I believe they will be, and I believe this is the best set of receivers they've ever put on a field together. And I'm saying they had Duper and Clayton, Stugotz.
The Marks brothers.
They had 2 guys that aren't these 2 guys, and they should be exciting. They've got an elite secondary. I don't know if they're fixed on the offensive line. I told you I could not evaluate Tua with 235 pressures, worst PFF they've ever seen for run blocking, but I believe that this coach will fix that. Now, I might be wrong, but I have a reason to watch this football team. I can tell you in July, 20 years of being right about urinating at the start of every season. This isn't going to go the way you think it is. Right. I don't care whether it's... Man, do you know how long it's been since we were longing for what we call the mediocrity of Dave Wanstead's 10-6?
I'm not going to say that it was a blessing in disguise because he lost out on Tom Brady. And Sean Payton has won a Super Bowl. And say what you will about the disappointments in the playoffs, he's a Hall of Fame coach. But getting Mike McDaniel is quite the compensation prize, because he is a really good coach, comes from a really good system, a system that you can trust, a system with quantifiable, data-backed success. He will fix your offensive line because he's from Kyle Shanahan's offense. That's what Kyle Shanahan does. And I do think I've been taking a lot of stock in what Tyreek Hill says, merely because he comes from a winning program in Kansas City. He came from an electric offense. And if he's hyping up Tua, if he's hyping up the weapons, I'll be like, that guy's, he knows what good weapons look like.
It's not just him, though. People can accuse him of saying, okay, what else is he going to say? Because he's on his podcast saying everyone's going to eat their words. He's going to shut up all the critics, while also saying on his podcast, hey, he's got to do it this year or he's gone.
He's all over the place. I mean, one week he's better than Patrick Mahomes. The next week it's a make it or break it season. If you're Patrick Mahomes, there is no make it or break it season. You're Patrick Mahomes.
Also, I'm going to push back on the notion that what he's doing is easy. Like, what else is he going to say? He caught a lot of shit from Kansas City fans. They're pissed off at Tyreek Hill. He bothered his ex-teammates. Mahomes had a comment that it was like, where did that come from?
Mahomes was publicly nice and said, we're always cool with Tyreek. Nobody really knew there were problems with Tyreek, and there will be a whole set of different issues, Stugotz, if all the throws are going to Waddle.
Right.
Because this coach said before he got here, he said, you want Waddle in fantasy.
Yeah, he said that, right.
He's telling you.
Classic sleight of hand. You know what I mean? Look over here and then boop, wide open.
That was before Tyreek Hill.
I know, it was before Tyreek Hill, and I believe that if this team starts losing and he's the star and they're underachieving and Tua can't throw the deep ball and all, I think the betting, they're 8.5. Are they not over under on wins this season? Like a 500 team, because now they have expectations. But I do believe with these set of factors, Stugotz, if I get him some protection, Tua, just skill set. If I went around the league based on where they were drafted and asked all the GMs, as people are saying, well, maybe the Dolphins can hide Tua and make him Garoppolo, where you took this person and what you think he is. Last year, an impossible evaluation. This is a much more skilled human being than Jimmy Garoppolo. And if Waddle are out here, Waddle and Tyreek Hill are saying to you, hey, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I'm watching what's happening. I'm here every day, and I'm watching. I could say, what else are they going to say? I could come up with all sorts of deflators, like what if one of them gets hurt? But they've got an elite secondary. They've got a good defense. And if they fix the offensive line and you've got the best receivers the Dolphins have ever had, I can hope. And I'm far past hope. I'm into belief.
Wow, that's amazing. So this belief is based on partly the coach, 2 wide receivers, Gesicki a tight end, and the notion that the quarterback might be pretty good in this offense with these wide receivers because it's kind of catered to Tua. He hasn't to throw it deep. Throw it 7 yards to Waddle, let him do his thing.
This is what I would say about how it's been built and why it is I'm hopeful. As I know, I see Billy back there. I'm going off the deep end, Billy.
No, you don't know what's coming for you. I have something for you in a moment.
I've never done this before. I have never been this enthusiastic about scheming and possibility. Man, this team, Whittingham, I don't know who the best quarterback is that the Dolphins have had, but I gave the stat last week. The Dolphins
Dan Marino
have not since then.
By a lot.
Have not had
Pennington.
Have not had a good offense. That's important correction. Thank you, Stugotz.
Sure.
It's exactly what
second in MVP voting.
Okay, let's go ahead and get stuck
Sports
there. Go ahead.
over
Give me all you've got on the great Dolphin quarterbacks of the last.
That's it. All I have is Marino and Chad Pennington.
So who's third? Since you wanted to bring
Matt Moore.
Come on, Fiedler.
Jay
Ryan
Fiedler.
Fitzpatrick for me.
Not bad.
I think we should go greasy.
It's going to be Tannehill.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's saying since Marino, Mike.
Since Marino, I'd go Fiedler.
Stop it.
No, man.
No.
People were way too hard on Fiedler.
They went 11-5 and 10-6.
That was a tough act to
Look at his
follow.
Pro Football Reference
But it wasn't
page.
because
no,
of him.
no, we
Football
weren't.
was different back then. It really
No,
was.
It's a different game, different time.
It
Whitney.
was terrible.
Look at Troy Aikman's Pro Football Reference.
I think
Tell me
Fiedler
how
was
good
better
he
in
is,
his couple of years as a starter than
Hall of
Aikman. I'm
Famer.
seriously.
Fiedler didn't deserve the
Fiedler'd
stick
be
that
a
he
Hall
got.
of Famer in the 70s, without a doubt.
I'm with that.
Should we go back and read the Dolphins' defensive depth chart from those years?
Stugotz is laughing at himself and his own. The wonder of his joke that Fiedler was better than Troy Aikman.
No, I'm laughing at the notion because I think Billy's right that Fiedler would have been like a Hall of Famer had he played back in the 70s. I mean, the numbers are jarring if he played in the 70s.
His seasons are 14 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. 20 touchdowns and 19 interceptions.
That's a great
is kind
year.
of Aikman-y. That is not the 19
Six-time
interceptions.
MVP, yeah.
But Aikman rarely threw for over 20 touchdowns in a season. Jay Fiedler was not Troy Aikman.
He was better.
I'm enthused, though, because Whittingham has gone 30 years here with crappy quarterbacks. This team, in my lifetime, Stugotz, I find myself longing for the days. I remember when you come out of Shula, and it's winningest franchise in sports, and you have Marino, and every year you're going to be 10-6, and then they want Marino out because Jimmy Johnson's available, and he's a champion, and then he's only mediocre because he wins one playoff game, and he gets to 10-6 and 11-5. Wannstedt inherits all that Jimmy Johnson did and ruins it all very quickly, but even he went 11-5 with Jay Fiedler, and then traded for A.J. Feely. It's been a nightmare. For 25, those guys were viewed. Jimmy Johnson and Dave Wannstedt were like, look at this mediocrity. And that's all it's been since, and jokes and everything else. This is not a joke. If you tell me this wide receiver can stretch a defense with a creative coach, and he's already thinking about Waddle and all the bubble screens, and how am I using him like Debo? If he's already thinking, how am I going to turn this into something? I've got something to be excited about because they wanted to do it with Brady. Brady could do it. But I think that Tua is something that can be more properly evaluated now this way, and that Tyreek ends up being right when he says it is a make or break year. Because if he doesn't do it, if this year of expectations doesn't have Tua winning football games that are meaningful, he will be gone.
We've seen Tua's evaluation be particularly dicey because he's been hurt too. And season's kind of undone by the slightest injury. What stands out to me when I look at the roster and their offseason moves is the depth they now have. They have depth behind Tua. If Tua gets hurt, you have Teddy Bridgewater. Gaskin was your number one running back on the depth chart last year. He's now number 4. They have Edmonds. They have Mostert. They have Sony Michel now. At wide receiver, they have Cedric Wilson. They have Jaden Waddle. They have Tyreek Hill. It's a completely revamped roster.
Faster.
Yeah, a lot faster. Gesicki's really fast for a tight end, too. He's basically a wide receiver out there. So the depth really sticks out to me that this team can survive if Tua does get hurt, if Waddle does get hurt, because using that frame as Debo seems like a difficult ask for someone so slender. They can survive these injuries now.
And you're basically saying two things. One is that Tua can Not necessarily. He doesn't have to be the standout quarterback. He just has to be a prop that Mike McDaniel can use.
But my point
for
is
all the
also
things
that
he
his
wants
skill
to do.
set is better than Garoppolo's. By measurements done by GMs, the skill set, they were going to make him, anyone in the league was going to make him a top 5 quarterback. Their evaluation, smarter than ours, is this person is better than Garoppolo. So as everyone's like, can they hide the quarterback and get to within a throw of the Super Bowl? A top 5 pick has a skill set that make me believe Waddle and Tyreek Hill when they get to yammering.
But that's at the collegiate level. At the pro level, Jimmy Garoppolo showed a lot in New England, and then his first couple seasons in San Francisco before major injury, I think, were better than anything Tua has shown at the professional level. Tua has to show it at the professional level. The guy who he was in college, when Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are kind of silently looking at each other going, we know what we've seen, he has to show that on an NFL field. But the other thing, too, Dan...
Wait, what about what they're doing now, though, Whittingham? Why are you making it about Alabama and not what they're seeing in practice right now? The guy that they're working with just on the side when Tyreek Hill is saying, hey, Tua's going to get up someday at 2 a.m. and I'm going to be in his kitchen washing his dishes, which I don't think he'd be welcome there. I think Tua would say, what the hell are you doing here?
I'm going to speak for Whitty here. He needs to see it on the field. Like, of course, these guys are going to say this kind of stuff about their quarterback in July. Don't do it in September.
I've heard positive press about Tua for 18 months.
Right.
From last offseason, we chronicled the charm offensive that came to convince me that Tua was good. His current players, his former teammates, people who are also signed by his agent, there were a ton of people that were trying to tell me that Tua was better than what I saw in year one. And I didn't see an appreciable step forward. And the other thing, too, Dan, we're talking about depth. And this is all at the skill position. I think the one thing that if you believe that the Dolphins are going to be good this year, you need a minimum of 13 games played from Teron Armstead. Because he is a top 5 performer at left tackle as a pass blocker, but he does not have a great track record of health. If he gets hurt, that offensive line for me is a house of cards.
But if anyone gets hurt, look, man. Everyone listening to this, you don't know how to evaluate offensive line play. I don't know how to evaluate offensive line play. I'm just telling you, the people who do know say it was a historically bad offensive line last year.
You can't identify bad offensive line play, at least when it comes to pass blocking.
But, Mike, I can think in my sport, in my city, because I'm frustrated by my line, that I've got a terrible pass blocking line. When pro football's deepest metrics on people who study this stuff say their win shares on pass blocking are the worst rate we've ever seen of anyone who blocks. I can't evaluate my quarterback that way. I don't know what he is. So you're asking from him, Whittingham, something that I don't think was possible. And so if they fix some of the things I'm talking about, it's why I'm willing to lend a belief to the idea that they can, to believe in all of it. Believe in Tua, believe in magic, not be the urinator, celebrate Dolphins football.
Jay Fiedler was basically 1970s Len Dawson.
Yep. Pretty good in the 70s. Yeah.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo.
If you compare Len Dawson's MVP season to Jay Fiedler's best Dolphin season, very comparable.
Can I hear it? Len Dawson's MVP season, please? Sorry, Dan.
AP MVP in 1971, 2,500 yards. It was a different game back then.
Wow.
55% completion percentage. You writing these down?
No, do this a different way. Just say the stat, and we have to guess Dawson or Fiedler.
I like that. Dawson or Fiedler. What a game.
All right, but
listen, it's not Marino, Montana, but I'll take it.
Put this on the poll, Guillermo, at Le Batard Show. Would Jay Fiedler have taken the MVP from Len Dawson at the beginning of the 70s? And also put on the poll at Le Batard Show, can you do it in September, in July? Which is what Stugotz is saying. Billy, you had a correction for me on something I said earlier?
No, not a correction for you. I have the way to advance this segment, but we can get to it if you'd like a little later.
Right.
Okay, we're going to go through the schedule, and you're going to tell us wins, losses, since you're all in on the Dolphins.
But first, a little game of Fiedler or Dawson?
Yeah. Or if you want, we could sprinkle in, because there's 17 games. We can just do a couple here, a couple there, just sprinkled in.
So
you know what I mean?
Exciting.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so do we have fanfare for this game? Dawson or Fiedler? Do we have? Can you give again? Can chronicle what Dawson's credentials are as somebody who?
I already gave away 2 for Len Dawson, and the 2 that I gave away was in his MVP season. He had 2,500 passing yards and a 55% completion percentage. All right, but now I'm just going to go
better than that.
I'm going to go ratings.
Fiedler would complete some passes for you.
I'm going to take a random Len Dawson season from the 70s and a random Jay Fiedler season from the early 2000s, and you're going to tell me, I'm going to give you touchdown, interception, and QB rating, and you tell me which one's Dawson and which one's Fiedler.
But I think Dan was asking the overall. Can you give the audience an idea of what kind of player Len Dawson was?
Yeah, because
he was a
a Hall of
Super Bowl
Famer.
champion, a Super Bowl MVP. He's a Hall of Famer. He made the Pro Bowl just about every year. I mean, he was a great player back in the 70s.
Maybe just about every other year. But Len Dawson was a AP MVP in 1971.
Okay, and this is during a time, though, where Bob Greasy won a Super Bowl throwing the ball either 7 or 9 times,
Right.
correct? One to complete one of the great Dolphin seasons of 1972, 73.
In retrospect, that was they won that Super Bowl in the perfect season, like 10-3, right?
Oh, they just were hiding the football in the forearm hair of Larry Zonka. They would just it was totally absurd. All the defensive linemen were 240 pounds and refrigerator salesmen in their spare time.
All right, I've got 20 passing touchdowns, 19 interceptions, and an 80 QB rating versus 15 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and an 81.6 QB rating. Which one's Dawson? Which one's Fiedler?
I think the first one is Fiedler. Second one, Len.
Let me hear those numbers again, just real quick.
We've got, for player number 1, 20 passing touchdowns, 19 interceptions, and an 80 QB rating, versus player 2, who's 15 passing touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and an 81.6.
I think the
QB
first
rating.
is Fiedler. I think that Fiedler was slinging it more.
Yes!
But you'd agree, very comparable season. That is Len Dawson's 1971 MVP season versus a Jay Fiedler season in which everyone set their hair on fire and tried to shove him out the door.
And eventually,
One of the most hated players in South Florida sports history,
yes,
Jay Fiedler.
And then A.J. Feely was going to rescue us, and they put him in the first half, and everything Wanstead was over after that.
Do we not remember what that Dolphins team was? It had Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain, Jason Taylor, Trace Armstrong, Daryl Gardner, Tim Bowens on the offensive line,
guys-
Zach Thomas as a linebacker. That defense
You say this.
is incredible.
Tim Bowens wasn't on the offensive line. Their offensive line was
Did I say offensive and defense? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
their offensive line was okay. Their weapons were not. Chambers came on a little bit late. I know Chambers had a Pro Bowl season, but they didn't have great offensive
Oh, come on.
weapons.
Tim Ruddy looked like me out there.
Tim
Come
Ruddy.
on. Come on. Go Google Tim Ruddy.
I don't have to. He's firmly entrenched in my memory. I mean,
It
I
was
know
just
his
a
little player
carpet of
placard that
hair.
came up on CBS.
A carpet. He would snap the ball and people would get caught in just a carpet of hair.
Neckbeard.
Those offenses, those defenses wanted to fist fight those offenses because
Tim Ruddy go to Notre Dame?
yes,
I think he went to Notre Dame. You can't be Ruddy at the school of Rudy. That had to be difficult for him.
I think A.J. Feely had a season that was comparable to Len Dawson. I do. I look it up.
no,
I'm
no,
telling you, man.
no. That's not true. I do not believe
One
that to be
season.
true.
Yeah.
For the Eagles,
In
probably, but not for
Philadelphia-
the Dolphins.
In Philadelphia, half a season.
Wait till you see the season that got Colin Kaepernick blackballed from the NFL compared to some Hall of Fame.
I was made so sad, Mike. Somebody was walking around an office, a Miami office the other day of young people. And it wasn't that young, okay? It's not teenagers. It's people who are employees, adults, early 20s, maybe even Whittingham's age.
Was the business young people or just the employees were young?
I don't know if the business was young people. I don't know who had the camera, but it was about 10 people that he was going to around in a room, and they were showing a picture of number 99, Jason Taylor, bald and beautiful.
How did you know that they were young? They showed up to work in a T-shirt and slacks and called it workwear? It's ridiculous what's happened. How about put on a necktie? You know, a jacket.
Nobody
Take
wants
some
to go
pride.
back to work anymore.
No, workwear has totally evolved. I say devolved.
So is work.
It used to be a proper country.
But nobody wants to go into work anymore. We're having trouble finding workers because people want to work from home because the pandemic has forced on them a new way of living.
I say that as someone that is presently wearing shorts.
Right. I was just going to say, like, you realize how we come into work, right?
Yeah, we have a different industry. I long for, that was kind of the joke, but I do long for the days where people would dress like madmen.
Should we start dressing
Really?
like
Like
Batman?
a fedora? It took Stugotz
bring
as a
back
punishment
fedoras.
had to wear a suit for a week, and he was made
Brutal.
uncomfortable. I mean,
Yeah.
he was avoiding it for
That was
brutal.
One of the worst
Brutal.
payoffs ever. If I didn't wear headphones, I'd absolutely be rocking a fedora.
Regardless, getting back to what it is that we were talking
Week
about.
1 against the Patriots.
Oh, wow.
W or L?
Home or away?
It's home for the
Doesn't
Dolphins.
matter. Tua owns them.
Wow. Well, it's for Dan, not
Did
for
you
me,
s-
right?
Although Mac Jones has had a body transformation.
Everyone is raving about Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And he was a really delightful interview at the Super Bowl for us. I think I'm a Mac Jones guy now, and I didn't want to be.
Weren't you
'Cause
guys?
It's like he formed a super PAC.
Didn't you guys come back from Tahoe talking about what great shape Aaron Rodgers is in?
Oh, it looks
Oh,
great.
dude, let me
Yeah.
tell you, Aaron Rodgers is in the best shape of his life.
Yep.
Little icy interaction. Can't
Yeah,
lie. He
yep.
looks. He made it clear to me he remembers what we said. But
It's official, Dan. He no longer likes us.
yeah,
So,
he did give
Everyone?
Stugotz a hug. He gave Stugotz
Well,
a hug.
he likes me a lot. He was very frosty with Mike. Very
I
frosty.
just gave him a handshake. He gave me a handshake too. It's like, well, because I was one of the people that was out there saying that I didn't appreciate him being dishonest about his status. It's not even the vaccine. God, at this point, like, whatever. We're all getting it. You want to make that choice? I'm not going to hound you as much as I did prior to, but it's the lying part that I found like problematic. Either way, I think he also found my take on the matter problematic. It was a little icy, but I don't know if he's bothered by me or if that's just Aaron Rodgers. You know,
How did he interact with Chris Cody?
He didn't.
he didn't
Really?
Yeah.
Why not?
Now, Kristen tried to go over there. Mike wanted to meet him. I introduced the two of them. They had a
Well, you
nice
said
handshake.
no, I didn't want to meet him. You said
Right.
come meet Aaron. Come say hi to Aaron.
Right.
And it
Well,
was
because you love Aaron. I mean, you might disagree with what he
do.
did and
So
how
you
he
didn't
lied
wanna
around
meet him.
COVID, but
I didn't want to bother Aaron Rodgers, and I didn't want to run the risk of an icy interaction like I had. I would have preferred maybe not meeting him because I am still a huge fan of Aaron Rodgers' game.
I wanted you to
Separate
feel
the take from my takes on the matter from his excellence on the field.
I wanted you to feel that handshake because I know what it feels like and it is firm, right?
Well, back to what he looks like. He was one of the biggest guys there. He is really bulked up this offseason. He is vascular. That skin is tight. I mean, he looks bigger than the Miz, who's a professional wrestler.
And the tattoo? What'd you guys think?
Everybody was asking him about it. I didn't want to peek too much. I like
Really?
the art. It's a weird design, but I think it's artfully done. It's beautiful. Beautiful tattoo. I
think-
the grounds were ripe for it to be a good interaction. Marty Fish got in there, gave him a big hug. Stugotz gave him a big hug. In those three people, I'm definitely bronze medalist when it comes to interacting with Aaron Rodgers. So maybe by comparison, felt a little frosty. Thankfully, we had plenty of great interactions along the way that were a lot more warm than that.
None of them televised.
You kidding? Did you see mine with Nick Jonas?
Oh.
We're like BFFs.
How about me and Justin Timberlake?
Good luck, boy.
We're gonna actually play some sound from Tahoe because we had two very awkward moments.
Well, I'm embarrassed that again the company sent you guys out there and you talked to a bunch of people that you could have talked to while here. All of those people are people we could have gotten here.
Okay, good luck getting David Wells on the phone, okay? I mean, seriously.
Because the sound quality
Wow.
from out there was way
Right.
better than on the phone. And how do you expect we at Metal Arc are gonna get Andre Iguodala? Tell me. I'm open to ideas.
You
tell
guys
me
are
how.
stealing golf trips from the company and just occasionally creating awkward sound that we remember while not interviewing any of the actually famous people that are hard to get because we should have good interviews from there. And I'm not saying that the ones you did aren't good. I'm just saying we could call Jay Billis and Joe Buck up whenever.
Why are you being evasive about week 1 against the Patriots in Miami?
Good point, right.
It's weird.
Just
We
win or
got to
loss.
get back
I mean,
to
that's
Dawson
it.
and Fiedler.
Broke news, by the way, with David Wells and Joe Buck. Joe Buck revealed to us that they pitched Tom Brady on him. Everyone kind of remembers that Aikman Buck thing being a package deal. He actually kind of agreed with your take on Tom Brady. It was really good insight from Joe Buck. And David Wells told us that he, of throwing a perfect game fame, he has not watched baseball in 4 years because he hates what's happened to the sport. My guy.
Oh, old man take.
Yeah, but 4 years. He's not watching baseball. The Yankees are good. David
4
Wells
years.
wants nothing to
Yankees
do with
are
it.
good.
Yeah, I
the Yankees
know.
hit so many home
Yeah,
runs.
but Wells ain't watching. I mean,
I'm dangerously close to wanting to root for the Yankees just because they hit more homers. It's Stanton, it's Judge, it's Rizzo. More homers than like 7 teams in the sport. It's just bash you over the head. There are 3 teams in that division with 45-ish wins, right? Tampa, Toronto, and Boston are all good enough to be really good in any of the other divisions, and they're like an average of 16 games back because the Yankees are totally overwhelming.
Even the Orioles have 43 wins. Like, they would be good in any other division, but they all happen, you're right, they all happen to be in the same division as the team that's won 61 games so far.
It's so ridiculous. They must be having so much fun judging Stanton, just monster dongs.
How are you with shamelessness? Because I know Stugotz is very good at it. He doesn't take inventory of any of his takes, but I'm the kind of guy that if Stugotz calls Kyle Lowry over, I want to crawl out of my own skin because of how publicly I've been bashing Kyle Lowry's performance, 29% from the field, in the postseason. By the way, he's looking a little bit better.
He is.
Yeah, a little better shape.
In doubt.
Form-fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Billy,
So win or loss?
Wait, can we get back to Dawson and Fiedler, or did we change it to Dawson and
Excel
Feely?
proficient.
That was the best I got when it comes to. I'm not sure there's a lot of meat on that bone, Dan.
Right.
Do you have the sound of the awkward interactions? The Justin Timberlake. What were you going for with "Good Luck,
I don't know.
boy"? Boy.
Here we're gonna load up the sound in a second. Hey, Dan, you'll hear, as someone that drives a lot of the content here, what I was dealing with, because I was dealing with two co-hosts that were giving me nothing on the air as we were live because Justin Timberlake was just merely walking towards them, and I didn't want the content to just be, oh my God, Justin Timberlake is walking toward us. So I'm rambling away about Jay Billis to not make it awkward and getting nothing from Chris and Stu.
Why wasn't one of them wrangling?
Chris
Yeah.
did do some wrangling, but at that point we were like, we have to fill some content. We were going. Getting up and bothering Justin Timberlake didn't really. JT would have done it. JT might have done it.
I think he would have done it. Here's Chris's problem. He's torn. He wants to be on the air, right? He doesn't want to miss a moment on the air. But Chris would go to the driving range in an effort to wrangle, and he wouldn't wrangle. He would just come back to tell us that Alex Caruso was tall.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, he's in the NBA, Chris. We know that he's tall.
Yeah,
all right, can you go get him on the show,
But
please?
it seemed like, based on, I wasn't there obviously, but it seems like based on your positioning, everyone had to walk right past you to get to where they were going. So if you just like stand off to hey, just 2 seconds, just say hi to Dan Le Batard's here. He really wants to talk to you.
Yeah, but Dan's not there.
Yeah, but
and
they
that's
don't
part
know
of the
that. And
problem.
But once you get the headphones
know
on,
Dan.
no,
They do.
you say Dan's there. He wants to say hello to you. You put the headphones on. You're like, Dan. Oh, he must have dropped. Hey, JT, what are you doing out here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You use Dan's name. Obviously, it's plastered all over the
get
table.
him over,
You're
right.
like, Dan's connected. He couldn't make
Yeah.
it out. He's in Miami. He's dealing with a thing. His dog is whatever, right? Some sort of, you make something up. Then you get him to sit down. And then you're like, Dan, can you hear me? Oh, he dropped. Well, just
The old bait
2
and
minutes.
switch, yeah.
Exactly
I've
right.
done it before.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Didn't you used to do that at Radio Row, you said?
Yeah, I've done it a million times. But
Yeah.
I figured this was Chris Cody's time, right? Like, it's his time now, right? To go do this.
Everybody was walking towards us because we were stationed right in front of the massage therapy cubicle that they had there. So that's why if you watch the awkward interaction video with Justin Timberlake, you'll see a man hobbling out of there clearly with a broken leg. It's quite distracting if you catch on to it. There looks like there's a man dying. All it is just Jim McMahon. That's how he walks now.
Can I suggest something for next year? If you have you have the same position, right?
Right.
You set up one camera, like one stationary camera, and you put Chris Cody like in all black and maybe even a shirt that says security, and you just have him checking every single celebrity's credentials, and you see how many of them say, "Do you not know who I am?" Or you see how many of them are offended by the idea of you questioning whether or not they actually belong there. Then you tell like a Rob Riggle, like, Rob, I don't know.
What kind of quality content did Chris Cody give us on air when he wasn't wrangling any celebrities that people would have wanted to hear from while on company dime doing the job he preferred to do versus the one that would have helped the show by getting people that aren't Joe Buck and David Wells? Like what am I missing on
good interviews.
Boomer was a great interview.
perhaps
Joe
someone-
Buck, you have talked more about broadcasting than any broadcaster in America the last couple of months.
Did you ask Riggle if anyone's ever confused him for Dibble? Because that's really...
Yeah, we should have asked Riggs that. You're right.
Stugotz, if we're going to send people, we should send people who wrangle guests who can talk to us so that we can enjoy their...
You're right.
We could get all of those people without sending Chris Cody to Tahoe to hit buffets, smoke weed, eat edibles, and gamble his life away.
Whoa. We did very well at the tables.
And now he's sick. I mean...
That's the other thing. He's out today, and I'm sure he's a spreader, too. This is how he does everything around here. Billy, I wanted to talk to you.
Hey. Wins and losses?
About Saturday.
Oh.
I have no idea if Stugotz is following sports, if he knows what's going on with his Mets. We'll get back to the sound of Stugotz's awkwardness and the crew's awkwardness around celebrities in a second. But I did want to get to, Billy. I don't think he's paid. You don't know what happened with the Marlins and Mets on Saturday?
No, I have no idea.
I mean,
I was out in Tahoe.
You got
man.
a good baseball team. You're not paying
Big
attention
day
to
for
your
you,
baseball
Stugotz.
team.
Well,
They
no,
retired
I mean-
Keith Hernandez's number.
Well, that I knew. Keith Hernandez should be in the Hall of Fame, and he will be in the Hall of Fame. But Keith Hernandez deserves to have his number retired. But I have no idea. I know the Braves are playing well, and they're on the Mets' heels. That's all I know right now. What happened Saturday?
Well, wait a minute. How's he going to get into the Hall of Fame if he's not in? Like Veterans Committee?
Yeah. I think Keith Hernandez is one of the great hitters of all time and one of the best defensive first basemen of all time. And he was on great teams, both with the Cardinals and the Mets. He is deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. He really is.
He's in the Cardinals Hall of Fame and the Mets Hall of Fame.
Right. So now it's time for baseball's Hall of Fame.
It's like his career is long
Cooperstown.
over.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't.
You can always get. There's always a way in, Dan.
Okay, but just because
Senior committee,
just because you think that he should be in,
Buy a ticket, yeah.
because you like you liked the Mets a million years ago, but aren't watching them today, even though they're in first place. Billy, tell him
By
how.
the way,
Tell him
worried
how
for the Mets.
his team ends up winning Saturday, and what I thought was the worst loss of the season for the Marlins. You're trying to get to 500, and you're trying to figure out, Billy, I see it on you. You don't want to hope, but you want to get a closer and a bat at the deadline, and you want to play for something, because if this team, even in that division where the teams are very good, if this team wasn't allowing everybody to hit 600 off of them in the late innings, you guys, the Marlins are much better. The Mets have dragged them all season, but the Marlins, you want them to be a contender at the end. You don't want them to just be selling off parts.
Well, but the Mets have faded fast. Like the Braves are a game and a half behind them. And I feel like once they lose that, it's going to be bad news for the Mets. Like you think Stugotz, you're a Mets fan, allegedly. Yeah. You think they're going to hold on and go into the wild card spots once they get past?
I think the Braves are a better
They've
team.
blown like a 10-game lead in like a month.
I think the Braves are better, and we'll excuse me, Tahoe.
Yeah,
and we'll win that division.
$5.
That's fine. I'll gladly pay the $5. Chris is out sick today, huh? I will. I think the Braves are better. So I think the Braves will win that division. I'm not going to rule out the Mets as a wild card team. The Mets are a talented team. What happened?
What's Buck been up to? How did this happen on his watch?
What do you mean?
How did they give up like a 10-game lead in the span of a month?
Because it doesn't matter.
He's not watching.
You guys
Billy,
tried to convince me that Buck Showalter was the difference. He's not.
He doesn't know what's going on with the team.
Well, he's a Mets fan.
What do I
And
know?
Keith Hernandez, Hall of Famer.
Explain to him, who's not watching, his first place team.
Hard eights.
Give me $5, please.
I gotta find it.
It is buried among
I'll
hundreds.
give you a $5 chip to the Harveys.
He's just got. This is what he went to Tahoe for, to talk to
on the
David
$5
Wells,
chip.
to say good luck, boy, to Justin Timberlake,
My friend.
to steal money from the company.
JT.
Go ahead and play the sound of Stugotz trying to chum up. This is as close as they got to getting anything that paid for the trip.
Who's this coming over?
Timberlake's walking over.
I wanted to ask Jay Billis about
walking to us?
I
He's
Come in
walking
Peace.
directly at
Have you
us.
ever seen I Come in Peace?
No.
It's a movie about aliens, but Jay Billis was an alien in it.
Right, really?
Yeah. No, he was a star turn.
Wow.
Interesting.
What up,
Yeah.
JT?
What's
you
up,
doing?
man? Good luck today, boy.
Jay Billis was in.
They're not listening to you. They're just looking at steamy Justin Timberlake.
They got him
They're
on.
not
You heard his
helping
voice.
you to
He's on the show.
They're
Yeah,
not
on the
helping
show.
you do the show. And furthermore, I think you have sound of us asking Jay Billis about I Come in Peace. Stugotz is like pretending like he's not heard this story. For years, all we talked about was Jay Billis being an alien in this dumbass movie.
This was so embarrassing because Justin Timberlake knew what was going on, and they just stopped in their tracks. We're live on the air, and I'm asking them direct questions, and they're just fixated on Justin Timberlake.
They're just staring at him. Listen to what.
Looking at the very start, it's just, oh my God, Justin Timberlake, Logan.
It was a beeline straight to the table. It looked like he was coming for us. Did it not, Mike? Even you thought it.
That's how
let's be
it worked.
honest.
Right behind the massage therapy
And
tent.
no one spent more time there than Ray Romano. I mean,
That's how it works sometimes. Remember John Legend? He promised us he'd come on next time.
exactly right.
So-
Yep. And I think we had JT on, and I think we'll have more time with him next year. Can't wait.
Well, you
Now
can't have
we're go-
less time.
We're going to have to go out there on Monday next year, Dan. I'm just letting you know now.
Yeah,
We've
we're
all
gonna
decided.
need a full
yeah.
week out there, I think.
Yeah.
That was our problem. We weren't there long enough.
Who's this coming over?
Timberlake's walking over.
I wanted to ask Jay Billis about
Is he walking to us?
I
He's
Come in
walking
Peace.
directly at
Have you
us.
ever seen I Come in Peace?
No.
It's a movie about aliens, but Jay Billis was an alien in it.
Right, really?
Yeah. No, he was a star turn.
Wow.
Interesting.
What up,
Yeah.
JT?
What's
you
up,
doing?
man? Good luck today, boy.
Jay Billis was in. Jay Billis was in the side. Here, I'm
Today,
gonna,
boy. That's how I talk to him. He's my friend. If
Why-
you know him the way I know him growing up, everyone knows to call him
Why
boy.
did you say
you
that?
just
That-
embarrassed me so much. You're like my dad.
Why'd you fly to San Francisco, by the way?
What do you mean?
You flew 4 hours past where you were going.
No, I didn't. Direct flight to San Francisco and a nice little 3-hour drive, and it's a beautiful drive, is the way to get to Lake Tahoe. Listen, you can connect flights all you want. I don't trust the takeoff times. I don't trust flying right now. Give me one shot, San Francisco, 3-hour drive to Lake Tahoe. I'm there. It's over. Boom.
So, for those trying to follow the rationalization, because I pressed him on this, Stugotz does not like nor does he trust connecting flights.
No, I don't like
So,
flying.
To avoid the inconvenience of maybe a slight delay, yeah, he does.
That's all
fly.
I've done is flown the
No,
entire
he
summer.
flies every weekend.
In
You
his
probably have
mind.
enough hours to fly a plane at this point.
Yep, going away again this weekend.
Where are you going now?
In New York.
Dead?
Yep. Hop, skip, and a jump.
Mike, play the other awkward sound, useless
We don't have
sound.
to do that one.
Oh, really? Oh, you don't want to do that one, huh?
I mean, Nick Jonas is just not as famous. Why? That's a
Okay,
tough
so
act to
this
follow.
is you guys. So basically, we sent you guys to Tahoe to sniff celebrity ass and starfuck, like to just wave,
Whoa.
Hey,
at
whoa,
Justin
whoa,
Timberlake.
whoa.
First off, nobody asked. I would have if they asked. Here's Nick Jonas joining the show.
Hey, what's up,
What's up,
Nick?
Nick?
Good luck today. That shot on 18. My God,
Are you guys trying to sneak in celebrity coolness? Are you trying to be cool? Are you trying to be noticed, both of you, in one sentence by appearing?
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Nick.
Good luck today. That shot on 18. My God,
So that's what it is. It's you guys want the celebrity to acknowledge you by just lobbing a sentence that is disguised in. Mike, why are you soothing your arms? You feel pathetic. Why are you soothing your
Believe it
body
or not,
right
that
now?
was before I had some drinks.
Oh, boy.
Because there's some shit out there after I had some drinks that I'm not proud of.
You should have called him your brother.
Yeah.
Before, which is the worst of these? If we have a celebrity star
Really
fuck
don't have
off,
to do the
yes,
face
if,
off, do we?
Stugotz trying to get a hold of Justin Timberlake, being extra cool by calling him boy. I don't know.
I
what
wanted to ask Jay Billis about
Is he walking to us?
I
He's
Come in
walking
Peace.
directly at
Have you
us.
ever seen I Come in Peace?
No.
It's a movie about aliens, but Jay Billis was an alien in it.
Right, really?
Yeah. No, he was a star turn.
Wow.
Interesting.
What up,
Yeah.
JT?
What's
you
up,
doing?
man? Good luck today, boy.
Or Mike trying to be extra chummy and establish a kinship
Sweating.
in one sentence with Nick Jonas. Just here, can I have a lifelong bond? I've got just one sentence to reach him. And
Hey, what's up,
here's-
Nick?
Good luck today. That shot on 18. My God,
We got our guys on, though.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
did. The Grammys can't even get Jonas and Justin Timberlake on the same show.
So win-loss for the Patriot game.